Cameroon we need to know because we want to have an input. Many of you have seen these viral, some pictures that have gone viral. Some atrocious things are going on in Cameroon. We cannot allow it to go just like that. Alex.
Well, to start with, in Cameroon we have a dictator who has been there for 34 years in the name of Mr Biya.
Did you say that cow?
I say it's the French poodle because he doesn't control the country. The economy of the country is run by the French president, whom I should say is the de facto president of Cameroon. The monetary policy is set in France, the interest rate in France. France has got a veto power in the monetary union of 14 African countries. And when you look at all these issues, Cameroon started as a Federal Republic of Cameroon. You have the English part and the French part, which we call Francophone and Anglophone. And the first president, Maitre Ahidjo, was there for 25 years.
So you have only two presidents in 56 years.
In deception.
In 56 years, only two presidents.
Yeah, which is good for French business stability. Not good for us. Not good for us as citizens. So immediately the president, Mr. Ahidjo, took over. He banned all political parties. 1972, a fake referendum changed the country's name to United Republic of Cameroon. And when Mr. Biya, the current president of the Republique du Cameroun, came in, he changed the name of the country to La Republique du Cameroun, which was the former French name, which means that logically Mr. Biya seceded from the Federal Republic of Cameroon. So the English part of Cameroon, which we call it Southern Cameroon, no longer exists. And most people are happy today. They say, since our French counterparts started this, we are happy to live. But most of the French, they say Cameroon remained one and indivisible. But however, if you look, I'll take you back to the current issue.
Yes, please take us to the current issue. Yes.
You see, like, when I would start with the lawyers in Cameroon, most of the judges in the English court, which is common law court, the judges there are French-speaking, majority of them. And how can you get justice from somebody who is using the French civil system in the common law jurisdiction? That is their problem. And again, most texts or government texts that comes, they are only in French. And most lawyers have been calling that they should translate it into English. But to my mind, taking into consideration that the Cameroon Constitution says French and English is the official language, to my mind, they shouldn't translate it. They should make the text in French and English.
Yes.
Because if you translate, it means as if one is better off.
That's correct. That's correct.
So normally the lawyer should be calling that not translation, that the text should be made in French. And
so why are the Cameroonian soldiers killing some young ladies as we saw in the pictures? We cannot even show you these pictures because they're too gruesome. Well,
the reason they are killing them, I'm sure they are taking their revenge from Boko Haram, because when they see the Boko Haram, they run away from Boko Haram. So when they see civilians who are protesting, who are asking for their basic right, like the students, you understand the University of Boya, which is where I come from, most of the teachers, 70% are French speaking, and they have French university. And I've even heard some schools or colleges there, French teachers, they teach the students in pidgin English, broken English.
From what I'm hearing from you, there's still this division of English speaking and French speaking, something that the British colonialists did in just before our independence, and there was this referendum, and then the southeastern part of Nigeria, some of it went to Cameroon. Is that division still there?
To me, I wouldn't call it division. To me, it's an agreement. We came together under the basis that we have our common law and they should have their French system. But over the years, to me, I don't know if I'm being biased, the English system is more tolerant than the French system.
So there wasn't complete integration?
Yes, it was just a federal, and they have the Federal Constitution, Article 47. It was stipulated that the French cannot use their majority over the English-speaking majority.
Okay.
That was what it is. But over the years, they have manipulated it, and you see, like, all the things that are English, they have been assimilated, which was the French policy.
Okay.
And today, most people are divided in Cameroon. Some are calling for federation, some are calling for to secede from La Republique du Cameroun. And to be honest, to me, we have had 55 years of waste. If you see all the development in Cameroon, we don't have an international airport in the English side of Cameroon. We don't have a deep sea port. There's almost no roads. Most of the roads in the English part of Cameroon, you have to go through the French area because they don't want a road that connects the English part. So I'm sure they are doing this deliberately, not so that we should not link with each other. And to be honest, when I go to Cameroon, I don't recognize it. It's not the country I used to know.
I was in Douala a few years ago, and I was shocked and appalled by the low level of development. Very poor level. The roads were not there.
That's the economic capital, you can imagine.
And Douala?
Yeah, the economic capital. You can imagine.
Everybody had a mobile phone, but they were on Okada.
It's true. When I was growing up, there was no Okada there.
Yeah, but everywhere is Okada now. And I was thinking about even the quality of the hotel I stayed wasn't the best, and yet that was a bad.
It's a shame. I'm happy that I'm hearing that from you because if I'm speaking to someone who think I'm biased or I'm against.
No, I was there. I was in Cameroon.
You see, I grew up in Cameroon. I had a better life than now. We used to have what we call power camp. There was street light everywhere. You go to Cameroon somewhere now, the places are so dark, you think you're in hell. To be honest, the law of diminishing marginality.
I'm going to say something that you may not particularly like. Like in many African countries, the people are dealt with were not too honest. I mean, people ask for money, people lied about money. I mean, it's a common thing in Africa. I wonder, is it because the government has not been able to raise the quality of standard of living, therefore people have to beg and lie about monetary issues?
To be honest, the government is more concerned in staying in power than to be concerned what the people need.
And for our viewers to know, Paul Biya was the vice president when Ahidjo was the president, and when he left, he became the president, and since then, no other president.
He has spent all his life in government.
34 years, I believe.
Yeah. No, 56 years in, as president.
Around 1975, I'm sure he has been prime minister, secretary general, president, so he has spent most of his life
in government.
So he doesn't know how people do the daily choices.
How old is he now?
Well, there should be 82 or 83.
But we understand he's always spending 3/4 of the year in France.
Yeah, he spends his time. That's his real home. I know most Cameroonians they believe that Paul Biya is going there because he's going for holidays. To be honest, I will say it and I will say it again. He is going there for medical treatment. Paul Biya is
but he that nearly put paper into trouble the other day when he said he's going for.
Le Monde said it.
Yeah, Le Monde
said it, and although they withdrew it, but it's the truth. Because you know,
and Le Monde is a quality integrity paper in France. Well, we just have to thank you for sharing. So, the last statement. What do you want our viewers to take so that we can stop all these atrocities? What do you want them to know?
To be honest, what I'm saying in Cameroon, I know most people are saying that we can dialogue. Yeah. We have tried a lot in Cameroon. I wrote this book, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I gave a copy to the government.
The last alternative.
What Hope for the Cameroons.
Yes.
That's 20 years ago. I was damn young.
Yeah.
I wrote that book and I thought we could talk with the government. I'm telling my viewers, especially Cameroonians, there is no way back. 55 years of waste, 55 years of underdevelopment. I presume we have to separate peacefully like Czechoslovakia.
If the camera can put this one on for me from the studio, The Last Alternative. That's the book Alex has written, The Last Alternative for Cameroon. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is, and what are you saying in this book?
I brought out the marginalisation, and my proposal was that the government should put to the people, if we want to stay together, if we want
you mean the English-speaking part?
To ask the English part, or if we should go our separate way. But most people are saying they want to dialogue with the government. I don't believe the government doesn't dialogue.
They don't have ears.
The government only has one thing to do.
Well, you can say you don't dialogue with someone who is deaf. Well, I'm sorry, we have callers on, and we just have to. Please, Ade, I know you've been waiting, but we have to go on a short break according to our custom, and you've been number one to call. When we return, apart from Ade's call, we will be discussing the Vice President of Nigeria's speech in Kano. He said Nigerians should be patient with the President. Do you agree with him? Or this Christmas time, you need some money in your pocket. Don't go away, we'll be right back.